Hey, Radiant Mamas. Welcome to something new here on Radiant Mom Rising. Mini episodes every other week that give you a quick inspiration, mindset shifts, and practical tips to help you thrive in both motherhood and business. These are designed to be short, powerful, and something you can fit into your busy day. Let's dive in. Hey, Mama. So I've been sitting with something lately that I feel like so many of us experience, but we don't always know how to put into words. There are moments in life when nothing is necessarily wrong, but everything just feels different. The rhythm of your home changes, the way you see yourself changes, the people you love begin entering new chapters. And even though you may be proud, grateful, and excited, there can also be grief, uncertainty, discomfort, a feeling of standing between the life you knew and the life you're still learning how to live. And that is where I am right now. On August 13th, my oldest son, Josiah, moved away to college. And even just saying that out loud still feels surreal to me because this is the child who made me a mom. He's been part of almost every version of my adult life. He was there when I was still trying to figure out who I was. And he was there through rebuilding, healing, growing, starting over, falling in love, getting married, bringing in more children into the family, building a home, and becoming the woman I am today. And there's just so many parts of my story that are also part of his story. And now he is stepping into life that is his own. And that's exactly what we raise children to do, right? We want them to become independent. We want them to dream. We want them to grow beyond what is familiar. We want them to build lives that light them up. But I don't think we talk enough about what happens inside a mother when the thing she prayed for finally happens. You are proud beyond words, and yet your heart still aches. They're ready, and yet there's this part of you that still wants to ask whether they packed enough socks. Do they have enough to eat? You want to give them that freedom while also wanting to text them every 15 minutes to make sure that they did eat something other than Oreos. And suddenly the house, just feels different. The family dynamic feels different. Even ordinary moments feel different because someone who has always been part of them is not there in the same way. I mean, every time I go to do the laundry and his room is empty, it's just a different feeling. And we're all adjusting. My husband is adjusting, our two younger children are adjusting, and I'm still showing up for them because their lives did not pause when Josiah left. They still need their breakfast. They still need help finding things that are probably directly right in front of them. You know how well kids look for things. They still need attention, reassurance, play, structure, patience, and a present mom. My marriage still needs care. My business still matters to me. The women I feel called to serve still matter to me. The vision I have for my life did not disappear because I entered an emotional transition. But I am not the same woman I was before this transition began. And that is what I have been thinking about. Every season asked us to become someone new, not someone fake, not someone completely different, but a deeper, more expanded version of ourselves. The version of me who raised a child at home for 18 years knew how to be his everyday mom. And now I'm learning how to be his mom from a distance. I'm learning how to give him room without disconnecting, how to trust what we poured into him, how to be available without trying to control every part of his experience, how to let pride and sadness exist in the same heart. And at the same time, I'm learning how to remain fully present for the children who are still at home. I'm learning how to strengthen my marriage through another family transition. I'm learning how to continue building a business while honoring the emotions that come up with this season. I'm not trying to rush myself through it. I'm not pretending it's easy because I'm a coach. And I'm not making the motions mean that I'm moving backwards. I'm just allowing the season to teach me. And maybe you are in a season like that too. Maybe one of your children is beginning school, or maybe your baby is not a baby anymore. Maybe you're returning to work, or maybe you're leaving a job. Maybe your marriage is changing. Maybe you are growing a business while still carrying most of the emotional and practical load at home. Maybe you are caring for aging parents. Maybe you're healing. Maybe you have outgrown parts of your old life, but you have not fully stepped into what comes next. Maybe things look mostly normal from the outside, but you know something inside you is shifting. And sometimes the hardest part of a new season is not the change itself. It is not knowing who you are inside of it yet. You knew how to be the woman you were before. You knew the routine. You knew what everyone needed from you. You knew how your days worked. Even if it was not perfect, it was familiar. Then life changes, and suddenly the old way of showing up does not quite fit anymore. This is where so many women begin losing themselves. Not at all because they are weak, not because they are incapable, but because they are trying to navigate a new season with an old identity, old expectations, and no real support for what is changing inside of them. So they go into survival mode. They keep moving. They handle what needs to be handled. They tell themselves that we'll process it later. They put their own needs at the bottom of the list because everyone else seems to need them more. And from the outside, they may still look incredibly strong, but inside, they are exhausted, disconnected, resentful, uncertain, maybe even questioning why they cannot seem to stay motivated or follow through on the things they said mattered to them. And this is where I want to offer you a different way of seeing yourself. You do not have to move through every transition by becoming harder on yourself. You do not have to earn your way into the next chapter by handling everything perfectly. You do not have to ignore your emotions to prove that you are strong. Strength is not pretending that change does not affect you. Strength is willing to acknowledge what is real and still choosing how you want to meet it. That is the kind of strength I am practicing right now. Some days I feel incredibly proud and excited, and some days I walk through Josiah's room and feel that ache all over again. Some days I feel energized by what is opening up for him and for our whole family. And other days I feel the weight of realizing that an entire chapter has closed. And I let both be true. Because emotional maturity is not choosing the positive emotion and rejecting the rest. It is learning that you can hold gratitude and grief, excitement and fear, pride and sadness, ambition and tenderness. You can be deeply present with what you feel without letting every feeling determine what you do next. That has taken practice for me. It has taken support. It has taken people who can remind me of what is true when my emotions feel louder than my perspective. It has taken being willing to ask for help instead of waiting until I am completely overwhelmed. And it has taken releasing this idea that because I teach and coach personal growth, I should somehow be able to navigate every season without needing support myself. The stronger I become, the more I understand the value of being supported. Not only when life is falling apart, while life is growing, while things are expanding, while prayers are being answered, while my children are becoming who they are meant to be, while I am becoming who I am meant to be. Support is not proof that we cannot lead ourselves. The right support helps us lead ourselves more intentionally. It gives us somewhere to be honest, somewhere to process what we are carrying, somewhere to recognize the patterns that are difficult to see when we're living inside them, somewhere to be reminded that one hard day does not erase our growth, somewhere to return to when life changes and we need to recalibrate. Because you will have moments when you feel clear and inspired and you will know exactly what you want. You'll make the plan, you'll feel ready, and then real life will show up. A child will need you, your emotions will catch you off guard, your schedule will change, someone will disappoint you, fear will get louder, you'll miss a day. You'll wonder whether you are capable of doing what you said you wanted to do. And that does not mean the dream was wrong. It does not mean the growth was not real. It means transformation needs more than one inspired moment. It needs somewhere to live. And that is why I believe so deeply in this work. I know what it's like to want more for your life while also loving the life and people you already have. I know what it's like to carry dreams while carrying laundry baskets. To want to build something meaningful while washing dishes, answering questions, managing a household, nurturing a marriage, and trying to remember who needs to be where and when. I know what it feels like to feel capable of so much and then have a normal, exhausting Tuesday make you question all of it. And I want you to hear this today. The life you desire is not reserved for a version of you who never gets overwhelmed. It's not reserved for women who have more time, easier children, perfect marriages, bigger audiences, better circumstances, or endless confidence. You are worthy of a joyful, abundant, meaningful life now. Not someday when everyone needs less from you, not after you finally prove yourself, not after you become perfect at following through, now. But creating that life will ask you to stop abandoning yourself every time life becomes inconvenient. It will ask you to become more honest about the support you need. It will ask you to notice the stories that quietly influence your decisions. It will ask you to make choices that match the woman you are becoming, even before you feel fully like her. And it will ask you to keep returning, not perfectly, consistently enough that you begin trusting yourself again. That is the heart behind the live workshop I'm hosting next week. Become the woman you can trust. This is not going to be another event where I give you a long list of things you should be doing better. You already have enough of those lists. We're going to look at why knowing what to do has not always translated into consistently living it. We're going to explore what happens when life pulls you into reaction, how your beliefs influence your choices, and how the woman you're becoming is built through the ordinary decisions you make when no one's clapping for you. You will have space to reflect, to participate, to experience some of this work for yourself, and to consider what might become possible when your growth has somewhere to be practiced, supported, and sustained. So if you've been feeling that stirring inside of you, that sense that you are ready for more, but you're tired of starting over, doing it alone, or waiting for life to become less demanding before you begin, I would love for you to join me. The link to save your free seat is in the show notes. And if you're listening after the workshop has already happened, or you already know you do not want to keep navigating your growth alone, you can also explore Identity Reset. Identity Reset is a coaching space I have created for moms who want to keep doing this work beyond one breakthrough or one inspiring conversation. A place to learn, practice, receive coaching, be supported, build relationships, navigate the hard seasons, expand through the good ones, and continue becoming. There's no pressure to be anywhere other than where you are today. Maybe this season is not here to take something from you. Maybe it is here to introduce you to a part of yourself you have not fully met yet. And I actually want to leave you with something practical today. So if you're driving, just listen. But if you're somewhere you can pause for a few minutes, I'd love for you to grab a journal because I want you to experience a little of the work we do inside Identity Reset. Not just hear about it, but experience it. I want you to write three simple questions. Question number one, what season am I actually in right now? Not the season you wish you were in, not the season you think you should be in, the one you're honestly living. Maybe it's a season of transition or rebuilding, healing. Maybe it's waiting. Maybe it's stretching. Maybe it's letting go. But just be honest. Now, question number two, what has this season been asking me to become? Not accomplish, not prove, become. Has it been asking you to become more patient, more trusting, more courageous, more willing to receive help, more intentional, more present, more compassionate toward yourself? Notice what comes up. Then here's the third question, and I think this one changes everything. What is one small piece of evidence I can create this week that honors the woman I'm becoming? Not the whole transformation, just one piece of evidence. Maybe it is finally asking for help. Maybe it's spending 15 uninterrupted minutes on the business you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's putting away your phone while you play with your kids. Maybe it's going to bed when you said you would. Maybe it's sending the email, having the conversation, taking the walk, writing one page. One piece of evidence. Because here's what I've learned: we don't become someone new because we have one powerful breakthrough. We become someone new because we keep collecting evidence that supports the woman we're becoming. One intentional choice at a time, one promise kept at a time, one ordinary Tuesday at a time. And here's one more thing I want you to remember. If you miss a day this week, if life gets messy, if your plans get interrupted, don't start over. Return. There's a difference. Starting over tells your brain you failed. Returning reminds your brain that this is simply part of becoming. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. I know I'm meeting new parts of myself right now as a mother, as a wife, as a coach, as a business owner, as a woman learning how to love what has been while making room for what is next. And I'm not doing it perfectly. I am doing it intentionally. I am doing it with support, and I am willing to keep becoming. So, Mama, who's coming with me? I hope I will see you inside the workshop. Until next time, remember that you do not have to become her all at once. Just keep choosing not to leave yourself behind. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I never take it lightly that you choose to invite me into your walks, your car rides, your workouts, your quiet moments, or the beautiful chaos of everyday motherhood. If today's conversation encouraged you, challenged you, or helped you see yourself in a new way, would you do me a favor? Share this episode with another mom who needs to hear it too. You never know how one conversation can become the beginning of someone else's breakthrough. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe or follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. We're building something really special here, and I truly believe the best is still ahead. If something you've heard in today's episode has been stirring something inside of you, I want to personally invite you to join us inside Identity Reset. This isn't just another course. It's a community of moms choosing to stop starting over, rebuild self-trust, and continue becoming the woman they know they were meant to be, with coaching, support, accountability, and women who truly understand the journey. If that sounds like exactly what you've been looking for, I'd love to welcome you. Enrollment is currently open, and you can learn more and join us today at marydibblecoaching.com. And if you're feeling that pull towards this work but want to experience it first, I'd love to invite you to my free live workshop, Become the Woman You Can Trust. It's a chance for us to spend time together, work through some of those ideas in real time, and help you understand why lasting change isn't about trying harder, it's about learning to lead yourself differently. You can save your free seat using the links in the show notes. Remember, you do not have to have everything figured out before you begin. You don't have to become her overnight. You simply have to keep becoming. One choice, one promise, one courageous step at a time. Until next time, Mama, keep trusting yourself, keep leading yourself, keep becoming the woman you were created to be. I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Much love.